Welcome back to Friends and Enemas, guys. My name is Lindsey. I'm your host, and who do I have with me?
My name's Julie McFadden. I'm a nurse, and I go by Hospice Nurse Julie online.
This is actually your second time being on here.
And the first time you were at my house.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Oh, full circle. Full circle.
Right?
And now you're at my house.
That's right.
If you guys are watching, it's a little blank back here. So give me some ideas on what to do with the background because I'm lost.
I know.
It's just too much.
Too
many decisions. I'm over it. I'm a little, what's it called? I don't know. Like, not deprived, but I'm just like.
Or like analysis paralysis?
Yes.
Yes.
That's me, actually. Yeah. To a T. Unfortunately.
Same.
But, at least we're doing this.
Exactly.
It's like halfway
And you
done.
have the microphones. This is cute.
We have the little boxes now.
Yeah, that's really good.
Apparently people steal content. But when you have these on it, then they can still, that's why people do that. I was like, and people steal people's content all the time. So
I know.
It's like, well, let's get ahead of it.
Yep.
Well, last time Julie was on, we talked a lot about her sobriety journey. So I don't think we need to go deep into that again. If you guys want to listen to it, you can go back to that episode. I believe it's like season 2. Don't quote me on that, but it's back there. It's a great episode as well. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about just being a hospice nurse, which we talked about there too. Deathbed confessions, which is kind of my new thing that I'm doing because I find them fascinating.
I kind of can't wait to hear like what you dug up on the internet.
Yes, I found a few stories and then some listener write-ins.
Okay, yes.
So
Perfect.
That'll be exciting. But let's give them a little bit of a background. You've been a hospice nurse for how long? What's your nursing journey been like?
Okay, so I've been a nurse for 16 years, and I would say like six to 8 of those years I was an ICU nurse. I really need to like figure that out, but something like that. And then I've been a hospice nurse for the rest. So it's like almost half and half. So ICU, then turned to hospice. And I turned to hospice because of the ICU. I was kind of like, okay, people are dying, not all the time, but enough. And I felt like we were doing them a disservice by like trying to keep them alive for too long, in my opinion. Not everyone, but a lot of people.
I feel that.
Which made me be like, okay, people are gonna die, and if that is the case, where else can I just feel like there has to be a better way.
Yeah.
Which has got me into hospice. And I basically just took the plunge. Like everyone's like, how'd you do it? And I'm like, I just got sick of what I was doing, and I was pretty miserable, and I just stopped doing it and looked up hospice nursing jobs.
Yeah.
And took the first one I got and learned on the job, and then I became obsessed with it. I loved hospice nursing, which was crazy because I wasn't really crazy about being a nurse. I was trying to like make nursing work for me, maybe get out of nursing if I could. But then I ended up like loving hospice nursing and loving educating about it, which is how I got into being a nurse online, Hospice Nurse Julie, educating about death and dying.
That's awesome. That's actually how I found your page. And one thing that stuck out from your page to me as an ICU nurse was you said something along the lines of you want to help people die with dignity.
Yeah.
And that stuck with me for the entirety of my career. I was watching you long before we ever met. And the stuff that you would say, I was like, wait, it resonated with me too.
Yeah.
I'm not fully to the point where I'm ready to leave the ICU, but I don't think I could stay there my entire nurse career either, just because of all of the hurdles there are.
Yeah.
And the hospital is a business, as we know, but sometimes it's really fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't like seeing people be treated this way just because of a dollar bill or lack thereof.
Lack thereof, yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I mean, I know we're talking about something, but then I just started thinking about, wait, when did I first see you? That's right. I don't know. I don't know how we met, but I feel like we are friends.
Yes.
And I don't know how we first met.
I know. I was watching you for a while, though. You and...
Penny?
No. Penny as well.
Hadley?
Yes.
Hadley. Yes.
I love watching all three of you, actually, because you just bring so much light to what some people would think is kind of dark.
Yeah.
But you're right. Death is going to happen.
Yeah.
It's inevitable.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's something you said the other day too, like it's not just about us being like, we're not angels, we're nurses.
Yes.
We're nurses too.
Just last night, someone at one of my meetings, I'm sober, was like, I saw you on the internet, you're such an angel. And like, I literally can, I like shiver, because I'm just like, first off, I'm in a recovery meeting. I'm obviously not an angel. Like, hello. But also it's like, no, we're nurses. Like, I mean, of course, I think a lot of people think hospice nurses, come into the house and all they do is like talk to families and like be sweet and kind, which we are sweet and kind. I mean, and I do talk to families, but we're nurses.
Yeah.
We help manage symptoms. We talk to you about the disease that you're dying from and what it's going to look like to die from that disease and how we're going to help you. A lot of it is medical. A lot of it is medical. It does turn into other things, and I have more time with my patients, thank God, and they can talk to me, and families have questions and things like that, but it's a lot of medical stuff too.
Yeah.
And I get what you mean by being afraid of leaving the ICU. I think that's why I stayed for so long, even though I didn't really like it, because one, I was afraid of losing my skills, and I have ish. I definitely have lost my, maybe not completely my ICU skills, but like, you don't really do it, you don't
Right.
do it. So I have a whole different set of skills now that are also great to have, but yeah, I get it. I get not wanting to leave what you know.
I also believe though, if you were thrown back in the ICU, it would take you a second, but it would come back to you.
Yeah.
It would.
don't know, girl. Oh my God. It's literally like my worst nightmare. I would, oh my God. I definitely could not just like pick up a shift in the ICU. 100%.
Wow.
Oh, no way. I mean, I've been gone for almost.
When you left though, were you like, fuck the ICU, I'll never pick up a shift there? Like
Yes.
You were just done with
I
it?
was done. I thought I was like.
I'm not there yet, but
I was
I can feel
like
it.
done with nursing. Yeah. I was done with nursing. I think when I first left, I wasn't like, fuck it, I'll never go back. I was always like, well, thank God I have that to like fall back on if I have to.
Yeah.
But now that it's been years, I mean, probably 9 years. That's why I have to like really figure out how long I was an ICU nurse. I guess maybe 7 years. But now that it's been like years and years, I'm sure there's like different protocols. Like I'm sure the stuff that we used to do, I don't know, maybe like, do you guys still titrate pressors on your own? Mm-hmm. Okay, good.
Well, there's like a parameter or whatever.
Okay.
Like in the
above,
order.
like map above 65?
Yeah.
Okay. Because for some reason someone told me, now we're getting off track. Sorry, guys. I don't know. Because someone said that like, because we used to sort of do whatever as long as map was 65.
Yeah.
To titrate it to that. But then someone else told me that maybe that there was like more things you had to get different orders and talk to doctors more. And I was like, oh shit, we were just like doing whatever.
Not that I know of, but I mean, I just quit my last job in the end of March.
Okay.
And it was,
We
we
were
were
still doing that.
we were doing our thing. And that was like bare bones hospital. So,
Yeah.
taking wipes away. I've talked about this so much, but like they didn't have wipes for the ICU
I
patients.
know, I remember that video. And you
It
were like,
makes
we had to
me-
use washcloths or something, right?
We
like,
had to use washcloths. We ended up cutting up pillowcases because they're smooth. Those washcloths
exactly.
are gross.
Those washcloths are gross and rough. One of my core memories that I feel like I will never forget is this man had a flexicycline. Flexicycline still used?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
A man had a flexicycline, and he was intubated and sedated, but still, like, he'd have like facial expressions if things happened, right? And he had like a raw butt, not a wound, but it was raw.
Yeah.
And I was holding him like this while his nurse was wiping his butt. And I get it. She's an amazing nurse and she's really just trying to get him clean. But that girl was rough. And she took a washcloth and wiped him hard as hell. And core memory, can see the look on his face. That look of like, like how bad it hurt.
Makes my butthole pucker.
I know. It makes
It's
me
sad.
like that kind of shit was like, that is where I feel like I am a nurse. Like that makes me be like, girl,
Yeah.
you're being too rough. Like seeing his face and being like, I'm so sorry, honey. And like, that's the kind of shit about nursing. Even though I love being a critical care nurse and like the critical thinking that goes into it, but also like the empathy is like, oh, it's there, man.
Yeah. I feel that. I feel that too. I have a similar thing when I was a tech. The other tech, great tech, but she was rough with some of these people. And I was like, damn, like, their bottom is raw.
Yeah.
Like you've never had a raw bottom before, and it shows.
Yeah, you're right.
Like you've forgotten when you were a baby how that feels, clearly.
And I have had a raw bottom, I guess. Because I'm like,
recently.
I get it. I'm like, damn, dude, watch. Like, I just have this thing in me where, like, not every day and not with every patient, but there's some people that I'm just like, I will fucking bleed for you. Like, I will die for you, dude. Like, because I guess you relate to them more or something. I don't know, but.
Well, that probably goes into like why you're such a great hospice nurse too.
Maybe. Yeah, I do love it. I do love it, but I don't love it. I love it because I'm not full time.
Oh, I have been saying that more and more. People are like, "Oh, are you still a bedside nurse?" I'm still a bedside nurse. I'm looking for a job. I'm looking for a very specific job. I don't want full time. I want part time or per diem, day shift, ICU. That's very difficult to find when you're not already in the system.
Yep.
So I might have to do like a contract to get my foot in the door. That way. But I'm willing to do it, I guess.
Because we have to, I'm looking at the camera because I want like nurses to get it. Like nurses, make nursing work for you. Yes. I love being a hospice nurse. I love it. I will do it till the day I die, I feel like. Maybe not the day I die, but I'll retire at some point. But I would actually do it for free. And not a lot for free.
Don't tell your employer that.
I know. No, I mean, that's like, that's how, my whole point is, that's how much I like it.
Wow.
Love it. But I could only do that because I don't work full time.
I'm telling you.
I think full-time nursing is bogus, and no wonder why you hate your job.
Literally.
It's fucking hard to do it full time.
I completely agree with that. And I've had the privilege of building other incomes in other ways, so I can take a little bit of a step back for full-time nursing. But that's what made me love nursing again. Because I'm like you. Did you go into nursing because you always wanted to be a nurse?
No.
I thought we were the same.
Yeah. No, I just did it because like my friend was doing it and I was young and
it would make sense for the time.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly why I did it. And it had so many opportunities. Like if I didn't like bedside, there's so many other things I could do.
Right.
And I get bored easy. So I was like, this is great. But full time was killing me.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is not gonna last.
Yeah.
But once I went part time, I was like, oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I forgot about how much I loved it.
Yeah. And I can say, because I started doing per diem before I did hospice nurse Julie stuff, because like obviously that's a second income that I have, so I can really pull back on nursing if I wanted. But I was doing per diem before all that.
Wow.
So I still had to work pretty much full time just so I could like live and do what I wanted, but it still felt better because it was like I could kind of come and go. I could take some weeks I could work 40, some weeks I'd work 32, some weeks I'd work 24, some weeks I wouldn't work at all. And granted, that's not the smartest thing to do, right? Because I wasn't making crazy amounts of money at all. You know, I could have made much more money if I was working full time, and I had to take care of my own insurance. No paid time off. So, you know, if you talk to my parents, it's like not the smartest idea, but I was happy and I had a good work-life balance, and that's what mattered to me. Mm-hmm. So and then if I had months where I was like, I want to save some money, I'd work 40 hours a week for the whole month. And just knowing that I didn't have to do that always. I'm going to buckle down for 1 month, save some money, and then next month I'll go a little easier. That's the shit that I loved.
That's literally how I am. Because like, I don't like when someone else tells me when I can eat lunch. Right. I want to tell me when I can eat. I want to tell me when I can come into work, when I can, you know, like I want to be the boss of me. So I feel like that's kind of how you're like, you had the control.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Besides that, I want to talk a little bit about you are a New York Times bestselling author.
I am.
Which is what we talked about last time. I think the book was just coming out, or had recently just come out.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. So it's been a year.
Yeah.
And my book is called Nothing to Fear, which I do like the title. I mean, I get it. I do feel like there's nothing to fear around death and dying, but it's also like really normal to fear. So the whole book is to educate about death and dying, with intermixed with stories of me being an ICU nurse. So it's like educational and storytelling, and it's a New York Times bestseller. Yeah. Thanks to my peeps.
See, that's awesome.
It's like so amazing. I can't believe it. And then because of that, I was able to do like a workbook / journal that goes along with it. So the journal is called Nothing to Fear. Nothing to Fear journal. I always say /workbook because it's not just a journal that you can write in. You can definitely write in it, but it has like prompts to help you, if you're listening to this and you're like, nothing to fear. Yeah, right. Death is scary. It's the greatest unknown. But that's the whole point of the journal to me. I love journaling, so that's why I was really excited to do it. But you could do the journal on your own without the book, or you could read the book and then do the journal. That's true. So it's kind of like it goes along with the book, but you don't have to have the book if you're not a reader. But the duo is nice. But the duo is nice, yes.
That's nice. Yeah. I think that's really cool because I don't know a lot of what hospice nurses deal with, but because of seeing patients die in the ICU, the way families can react, you can tell who has never been around death before and then someone who has a little more experience with it or just understands it a little more. And I feel like your book would definitely help anyone but especially those people who just have so many questions.
I know. Yeah. I mean, that's why I took to social media to start talking about death and dying, because I realized that, like, one, I can't talk to everybody that I work. It's like I could only see the patients I can see. And I could just tell that so many people didn't understand, like, what death really looks like, what hospice is all about. Even as an ICU nurse, death looks different in the ICU than it does dying at home on hospice. Not always, but most of the time. It looks very different. And I just knew that most people didn't know that. Most people, there's a big missing gap of, like, education about death and dying. So I didn't really set out to, like, all of a sudden have a bunch of followers on social media, but here we are. I was surprised by how much people actually did want to learn about death and dying. Yeah.
So, well, like we said, it's inevitable. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Something we talked about last time that I always like to bring up, because every time I talk about it, I think everyone's heard, and then I'll find out people haven't heard about it. But I think one of the most interesting phenomenons. Is that how you say that word?
Girl, I don't know. I always get slack. It's either it's phenomena or phenomenon. One of them is plural. I don't know which.
Okay, well, whichever one, Anyway.
People write me emails. People, like, mean men write me emails being like, you're a dumb bitch. It's da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But I still don't remember. I think phenomena is plural.
Okay.
And phenomenon is one.
Okay. This phenomena
that's plural.
Okay. I think I'm using it right. Of when people are dying and they see someone that's already died. Like, their 99-year-old papa is on his deathbed and he sees his dad or mom in the room.
Yes.
And it's like a sweet moment.
It's a sweet, caring. So I talk about it all the time now because people love to hear about it, right?
It's interesting. And
then I get categorized as, like, this, like, woo-woo nurse. And I'm like, that is so not me. Especially coming from the ICU. And then I would see in our educational books that we would, like, educate families that, like, your loved one dying may start seeing the unseen and seeing people who have already died. And I remember thinking, I cannot freaking believe this is in a book that we're giving to our families. Like, this is crazy. Until you are around it all the time, and it really does happen.
It does.
All the time. And now that I'm an admission nurse, where I do most of the admission work, right? I'm, like, admitting people into hospice, and I start educating about all the things that they're going to witness.
Yeah.
People will, because I say, they may start seeing dead relatives, dead loved ones. I say this stuff. People will grab me and go, that's already happening. He's already seeing so-and-so. So now that I do that, I hear it even more. I see how often it actually happens. Whereas before, I think people just wouldn't tell. I think no one wants to tell anybody that it's happening because they're so confused by it. Or so, like, they're going to think I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's interesting. I mean, it happens. I think I might have talked to you about this on the first episode. I can't remember. But as a tech, I used to be, like, people's tech at their house.
Oh.
Like a personal tech.
Okay.
Personal nurse tech. And I had a patient that passed, and I felt like he was the first person that it wasn't so peaceful.
Oh.
Whoever he was seeing, it felt like, I was like, oh my, like, I'm low-key scared. Like, I was actually scared in the room, and I'd seen it before, like them talking to their mom or whoever, and he was scared, and I was like, ah! And then he passed. And I was like, wait. That messed with me for a while. I was like, but if I told anyone that, they would think I was crazy.
I've never seen someone Okay, this is not fair. Or some people are gonna think it's not fair. I always think if it's not comforting, it's not visioning.
Ooh. Wait, that's
because
nice.
I only think visioning is comforting.
Okay.
So if it's not comforting, then I don't think it's visioning. Because I just don't believe, and I know people are going to give me heat on this, but I just don't believe there's like a bad place and people seeing bad things.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe that he was, but then I would consider hallucinations, agitation, restlessness, delirium. Then I would.
That actually makes me feel better, though. For him, too. Because I was like, oh, what?
Do you know what he was dying from?
If I had to guess, it was a stroke.
Okay. Because dementia in Parkinson's patients actually...
He had dementia as well.
Okay, because it's part of the disease a lot of the times to see, to have like bad visions or like types of delirium where like trees look like people and like things look like spiders. And so it's actually part of the disease process a lot of times with specific diseases. But again, it's a phenomenon. See if that's right. We'll so it's like, who knows? Maybe. I mean, that's just, who knows why it's happening, right?
Yeah.
Good or bad.
Yeah.
But I usually I've never seen bad. I've only seen good, comforting.
Well, I like what you said. Comforting is visioning. If not, it's not visioning.
Yeah. If not, it's not visioning.
That's cute. I like that. And again, it's just so interesting to me because it's like their loved ones are welcoming them to the other side.
Yes.
Like, oh, that's so sweet. I hope I see my dogs.
Yeah, people see pets, and a lot of times people, just so everyone knows, it doesn't happen usually like right before they die. Usually right before they die, they're unconscious for a few days. It usually happens about 3 to 4 weeks before they die.
Interesting.
So visioning usually happens like long before they're lethargic. They're usually alert and oriented. They're not like on their deathbed.
Wow.
They're very like lucid, like you and I, and they'll be like, I saw my dad last night at the edge of my bed, and he said that I wasn't dying yet, but I will be soon, and they'll come get me. Oh. Literally, multiple times this has happened. Not
to get religious here, but I don't know how, and because I'm not very religious, but I was raised religious. It's a whole thing. We're not going to dive in. It's a whole thing. It's a whole nother podcast. But when stuff like that happens, I'm like, how would I not think there's some other side? What? How are they just? There's just no way your brain. Maybe it does. There's just no way your brain makes up this like.
But also, isn't that beautiful if it does? Because I'm definitely not religious, but I'm spiritual and I believe in an afterlife and all the things.
Yeah, spiritual.
But even if I'm wrong, which I could be, right? Isn't that cool if that's biologically happening? Like, even if it is just biology, even if it is our brain just doing that for us. How amazing.
Yeah.
How amazing is that? Thank you, brain.
Yeah.
For making me feel better at the end of life.
Either way, it's a pro.
That's
cute. Yeah. I love that. That actually makes me feel better because sometimes I'm like, there's no reason. It doesn't matter. Either way, it's really comforting.
Yeah. Even if it is our brains. Great. Thanks for making me feel better.
Thank you. God.
Yeah.
Do you want to dive into a few deathbed confessions?
I do, because listen, everybody, I am a hospice nurse. I've been a hospice nurse for quite some time. And I've never had a deathbed confession. No one's ever given me tea like that.
That's crazy.
I know. I wish I did.
Right?
I would somehow, some way try to tell everybody. But
I mean, some of these are some are too dark to read, so I don't read those. But some of them are kind of dark, and I'm like, interesting. It's just interesting to think of, like this first one.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Not my confession, but I ask the geriatric patients if they've ever killed someone. They usually say yes. What? That's what I'm saying. What? Now, were they veterans? I want to know. I want to know more details.
Okay, yeah. Veterans would make sense.
Yes, but that's not included in here. So, like, is it just like the LTAC down the street and you're just...
Right? And also, like, how do you go about asking, hey, have you killed someone?
Right. First of all, why are you asking?
Yeah, and how are they not offended? They just go, yeah. And you're like, what?
Yeah,
tell me
they're
more.
Messing with you at that point. Because, like, if you ask me, I'm like, are you good? Why are you asking
Oh, my God. Give me more.
Okay.
These are all from followers, right?
Some of them are. Some of them are. We're going to jump into like some kind of wholesome stories too, because not all of these are wholesome.
Okay.
Another patient confessed that he hated his wife's meatloaf, but still ate it.
Oh,
That's kind of cute.
That's cute. Yeah.
But like maybe she keeps making it because she thinks you like it.
Yes.
You know.
Also, like, say your truth.
Yeah.
You're allowed on to like the meatloaf.
I don't like meatloaf. That's one meat.
I do like meatloaf.
I don't like it.
I mean, I think it sounds so gross, but then whenever I do, because Rich is my ex-boyfriend, who still is an amazing person. But if you don't know.
Thanks for clarifying.
Yeah. But Rich used to make meatloaf, and I'd be like, gross. But then I tried his meatloaf. I'm like, damn, that's good. That is freaking good.
Maybe I haven't had good
a loaf
meatloaf.
of meat, like cut like a slice of bread. That's so gross.
It's so southern.
But it's so good.
Where's Rich from?
Rich is from Jersey.
Oh, I thought that was a southern thing, so maybe not.
Yeah, no. He's a Jersey boy. He's very New Yorkish.
Patient confessed to murdering his wife. That's on here like multiple times, multiple different people confessing to have murdered somebody, and they got away with it. Which one of them said that her spouse was abusive, so I was like, we'll just categorize that over here. But
yeah,
what's happening?
And like, I don't know.
How'd you get
I don't
away
know.
with that?
No one has ever done this to me, thank God. Because I don't know what I would do.
Right. You just have to bury it away in your head. What can you do, even if they did do something?
Well, also, like, they can't be that much on their deathbed if they're still talking.
Ooh.
So I'd be like, cool, I'll be right back. Calling the police. I mean, like, what are they going to do? But still, it's like, bitch, you can't kill someone. Especially your wife.
I know.
I'm not here for that.
It made me think, like, is there a crime podcast we're missing out there based on deathbed confessions that we need to go back and find out who like, it's just interesting. I was like, wow. This one's funny. A patient was dying. We had to prone him, had to ask his wife how to deflate his penile implant. But that's how she found out he had one.
Oh!
I was like, no. She's like, what? Penile implant?
Penile implant? Who? I've definitely had patients with penile implants.
I have too. And
yeah.
But there's so many different ones. The one I had, I think it was a penile implant. You inflated it through his scrotum. There was a button, like a bubble.
Shit, really? Mine, I feel like you had to... I don't know, actually, because this doesn't sound right. But I felt like it was something like, and they probably can't see down here, but it was like something that had to go like up and in.
Oh.
Like the penis had to go like... That's why it doesn't make sense. So maybe am I like making it up? I very well could be. Like sometimes I wonder if like some of the things I've experienced are dreams. Like they're not real.
But actually, fair.
Do you know what I mean? I've like been a nurse long enough that I'm like, am I making this up? But I swear to God, it was like something that had to go like clink, clink. Like we had
Maybe
to
it
clink
was like his penis. Like there was a thing.
And it was still very, I was surprised by like, it still didn't look very right. It still didn't look.
Maybe it was a dream.
Maybe it was a dream. I'm sorry, everybody. I have to ask my best friend, Jenny. She always vouches for me. She'll be like, no, I remember you said blah, 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 blah. And I'll be like, oh, okay, so it did happen.
We need to phone a friend.
Yeah.
Jenny.
Oh my God, phone a friend. And she's a nurse. She's a nurse.
That's funny. Let's see. My grandpa told me about his affair with the neighbor he had back in the 60s. I still don't know if it was true, but I wish he hadn't told me.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, Gramps. Here, we'll actually dive into
it's sad, but I don't know. Years later, you're kind of like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, it is. It is. You got away with it this long. You know what I mean? Like, love you.
Yeah, someone with dementia just starts being like, bop, 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 talking.
I've had a patient before, like, I guess before he had dementia, he was a really awful person that's what his family said. Mm-hmm. And after dementia, he was apparently the sweetest man. And I'm like, that's kind of sad that you get to live your life with him now when it's not like himself, but it's who you wish maybe you would have had.
I always feel like it's opposite. They're like nice and then they get mean.
They do. They can get very mean. I used to take care of a lady that I was like, I am trying to help you. What is your problem?
I know.
But, you know, she had dementia. She didn't mean to.
She didn't mean to.
She didn't
mean it.
Okay, here's more.
Okay.
This is a Reddit thread. People who have heard deathbed confessions, what were some interesting ones? My grandma confessed to murder on her deathbed. Usually you'd think it was the pain relief, but she was such an eccentric person, it was actually believable. We traced all of her ex-husbands, partners, and any other likely candidate, and fortunately no one was missing or had died. But sometimes I wonder why she said that.
So she said, like, I killed someone, but she didn't say
Right,
who.
she didn't say who. And I'm like, what is going on? It's not funny.
How can I start getting deathbed confessions? Like, do I just start asking, is there anything you want to say? Because
it's a safe place.
Here's the like myth, like I said about hospice nursing. People think that like we're there being like, tell me everything about your life. Are you scared? And it's like sometimes over time people do talk about stuff like that, right? It's not really like that. I mean, it can get like that where you get close to the patients, so you are talking about you are talking about things. But generally speaking, like I think people who give deathbed confessions, if they do, it would be more like the chaplain or the social worker. To get the goods. Yeah. But maybe now I'm like really thinking about like, can I do this?
How can we do this?
I could talk to my patients. Be like, listen, my friend Lindsey has a podcast. Is there anything you want to tell me? I'll keep it anonymous.
Get off your chest.
Get it off your chest before you die, so you don't go to hell. Just kidding. I don't believe in hell. Just kidding. Yeah.
But tell us.
Just kidding, but tell me.
But tell me what you probably maybe did.
Yeah, they're like, what?
Like, I swear I was a good person.
Yeah, you're like, sure.
This one says, my dad had Alzheimer's and ended up in a secure ward. He was blind and almost deaf. I was visiting him one day and he didn't know who I was, but he started talking about me. He said I had done better than him in his life and that he was proud of me. He was a quiet man in real life and never told me that when I was growing up. Looking back, he did things that my dumbass never realized were for me. Like when he retired, his colleagues asked what he'd like as a present. He chose a scientific calculator. This was back in the 1970s. He had no use for it, but he gave it to me so I could go to university. I thought he was just passing it on, not realizing that he'd asked for it with me in mind. Oh, that's sweet.
That's so good.
That's sweet.
Oh, that's so good.
Those are the confessions I want.
Yeah.
Stuff like that would make me tear up, though, in real life. I'd be like, oh, that's so sweet.
That's so good.
Yeah. And it sounds like someone in the UK, because they used ward and they used university.
I was thinking the same thing.
Hospital.
It
wasn't a deathbed confession, but I cared for an elderly neighbor who had Alzheimer's as well, and sometimes she seemed to want to unburden herself of secrets. In the months before she went into a nursing home, I heard a lot about very minor transgressions at work, feuds with other ladies at church, and some cousin fucking.
Oh! That happens more than you think, girl. More than you think.
Is it Alabama or?
I feel like second, third cousins. And guess what I've learned?
What?
People who are like genetically related can be not, and that's the only way you're related genetically.
I said, let's rewind.
Wait, the reason why I knew I did something wrong is because her face. Lindsay was like, I think that's how it goes.
Sorry.
You're a nurse, right? But, okay, what was I getting at? Okay, so if you don't, like you're attracted to, you can be more attracted to people that you're related to. Now, you don't know you're related. So like second, third, fourth cousin.
Okay.
You're attracted to people that look like you.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm saying it wrong, but there is something about like
in your brain
in your brain somewhere you're like attracted
DNA.
to people.
Interesting.
Yeah. So like you, not that you should do this, but like people, but like, like just to make sure you're not related.
Interesting.
Because you're attracted to people who like look like you or something like that.
That's what people say.
I'm kind of getting it wrong. But.
No, I hear you. So maybe some people might think me and Jared look like brother and sister, but really, we're not, I swear.
Yeah. I don't know.
I did date a cousin once.
Maybe. Whose cousin?
My cousin.
You did date your cousin?
No, but hear me out. I love to start the story like that because it gets people's reactions. He was my stepdad's nephew.
Okay, stepdad.
But I like to fuck with people. Like, I dated a cousin once, and they're like, what? And I'm like, well, it was my stepdad's nephew. And like second cousins, somebody. Anyway, clearly it didn't last. Yeah. So, and one reason it didn't is because I was like, how would I ever be able to tell somebody I'm dating my cousin?
Met at the reunion.
Literally, we met at a family reunion.
Yeah.
That's so gross and embarrassing.
I mean,
we're
it's a
not
step.
We're not related. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think it's fine. But what does that tell? What's that saying? I don't know.
I remember when I was in middle school, this poor band teacher, the rumor that was going around about him was that he was married to his second cousin. He could have been.
He could have been.
That's the thing. I'm like, where did the rumor come from?
That's what I mean.
Just some kid.
You know, when I was in high school, this is a very side note, nothing about cousins, but we had a bunch of teachers that had relationships with
cousins.
No, not cousins. With students.
Yeah, we did too.
And they got caught and they were jailed.
Yeah, we did too. My volleyball coach. I was like, girl, what are you doing?
Girl?
It was a girl.
I did it with a boy?
Yes.
Wow.
And you want to know, let's talk about a stigma real quick. Sorry, double standard side note. She got crucified and like he was praised in the school. When flip it around, if it would have been a girl student with a male teacher, she would have been slut shamed. Just saying. Just saying. Not cool. I mean, don't. Teachers, stop. You have an authority. Like, that's just weird. We just don't do that.
It's illegal.
Obviously.
And we shouldn't do it. But
I was just like, interesting. If that had been a girl, she wouldn't have been the queen of the school. You know what I mean? Anyway.
It would have been like her fault. Like, what did she do? What did she do to like get him to do that?
And it wasn't like that for that boy. I was like, what the fuck?
So annoying.
Not that it should be. It shouldn't be. He's the child.
Yes.
But she would have been, you know.
I do know.
Double standards. Do you like these deathbed confessions? Do you want to hear a couple more?
Yeah, I want to hear a couple more.
Okay. This one says, I have an amazing one. My great-grandmother lived a very long and interesting life. She was in her 20s in the Great Depression. She had a wild streak from those days that we don't know much about, to the point that we actually don't know our great-grandfather's name, just the husband she took later. Over the course of nearly 100 years of her life, she had collected owls. Literally thousands of owls figurines. She had clocks, wall hangings, pot holders, lamps, stained glass art, salt shakers, and more figurines that you couldn't even imagine, all depicting owls. We all wondered what the importance of the owls was. She never talked about them. We just knew that she loved them. Well, she was nearing her death at the age of 98 or 99, and the doctor said she had days. My grandparents went and talked to her, and they asked her if she had anything she wanted to share before she goes. She thought for a moment and then said, I never understood the owls. It turns out she didn't really give a shit about owls, near as we could piece together sometime in the 40s or 50s perhaps. She bought either a trivet or a set of salt and pepper shakers that were owls, and then someone got her the other. Those were the oldest owls anyone could remember. But from there, someone would get her an owl to match, probably a pot holder or a placemat, and all of a sudden her kitchen was owl themed. Therefore, it snowballed, and people assumed that she loved owls.
Oh my God, I thought that was going somewhere else.
I know. I thought it was too, but I was like, oh, it was just one of those things. Like, you just never spoke up and said, I don't really care about owls.
I don't really care about owls. Now she has owls everywhere.
Everywhere.
Oh my God. I love when people are alive for 100 years. I just always think about like how many decades they had to live and how their life changed so much, and how like you think you know everything when you're 20, and then you think you know everything when you're 40, and then 60, and then 80, and now you're freaking 100. You know, that's like crazy. It's so crazy. I love meeting patients that are 100 and they have so many
stories of like just things that I can't comprehend because I didn't live through it. You know, like mine will be so boring. It'll be like, I watched the CD come and go. That's about it.
Yeah, but you don't know. You might watch some more things as you age.
Oh I watched my nurses turn into robots.
Yeah, right.
Like
you're like, I used to be a nurse when they had human nurses.
This is Nurses of Reddit. What are some of the most memorable deathbed confessions your patients have given you? My grandmother was from Spain. At some point in my life, I was like, quote, why don't I know how to speak Spanish? So I asked my mom, as I'd never heard her speak Spanish either. She said, my mom came to America and was one of the, we are in America now, so we speak English now, people. We started pestering her to teach us Spanish. She claimed that she forgot how to speak it. We all kind of thought she was full of shit, but she was adamant about it. She was sharp as a tack until her mid-90s and lived alone. Finally, it was too much, and we moved her to our house and then to assisted living because she wanted to be closer to her friends. When she ended up in a nursing home because she was on her last leg and her mind started to go, we caught her speaking Spanish to mostly Hispanic staff. Basically, she had to go senile to forget that she told us that she couldn't speak Spanish. It was an unintentional confession that she actually knew how to speak. She just didn't want to because it wasn't the American thing to do.
Oh my gosh.
She knew.
Yeah, she knew.
She knew. The other confessions I see on here a lot are like veterans who have multiple families. Because they like were traveling, which I think is so crazy. Like, how did you keep that going for, or did you?
Right. Did you neglect one family?
Right.
I mean, probably. Probably, or they're all being neglected in some way.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just interesting.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of really cute deathbed confessions. Mm-mm. Most of them are.
They're confessions for a reason. Like,
right.
they're secrets for a reason.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean?
I'm like, damn, what's mine gonna be?
I know.
What am I gonna say? I'm gonna just stir the pot.
Just stir the pot.
For no reason at all.
If there's one thing I can say to anybody about getting older, this is off topic right now, but I was thinking about it when that woman said like she wanted to go to the nursing home or assisted living to be closer to friends. We need to be able to be flexible when we're older. And be able to change. This idea of like, and I get it because like I see it in myself already, and I'm only 42, but like wanting to stay in the same place forever, in the home that you like, not wanting to leave, not wanting to get help, if you can't, and at the end of your life-ish, you usually do have to do a lot of changing. And I think the older you get, the harder it is to be flexible, and it just hurts so many people.
Yeah.
Who are unwilling to like leave where they can't be anymore, or like unwilling to get help when they really, really, really need help.
Yeah, I think you just said something like, like right now we're looking for our forever home. It's baked into society too. Like we do these things, like we say we're looking for a forever home. Well, it won't be your forever home because you most likely will need help, and most people can't afford help at their home. Mm-hmm. So they will probably go to some form of a nursing home.
Yep.
And it is sad.
It is sad. And it is hard.
Yeah.
But it's like a necessary thing, which is like the people who, like I think about my mom, thank God. I don't know what will happen with her or to her, but she already is like, I'm going to this assisted living and then this, and it's a place where like they have all three: assisted living, like extra help, right? And then a skilled nursing.
Yeah.
Okay, there's all three. And she's already like, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm like, thank God I have a parent that is like that.
That's like realistic.
Yeah, that's realistic.
You know, because it is hard. Like one of my husband's grandparents had to go to a nursing home, and she had lived by herself, but it wasn't by herself. It was with her son who helped take care of her, but he passed away. She had to go. And it was like, I think she was really upset about it at first, but now I think after they get there, especially like one that she's at, which is a good one, and I know they're not all good, but there's activities for them, and she has friends, and so they go to breakfast, lunch, and dinner together, and they go watch a movie.
They have like crafts. Happy hour and crafts.
It's cute.
I know,
and they get more attention.
Yeah.
Than when you live several hours away and people can't come visit you. You know, I think that happens a lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm planning my. I have like a financial guy now.
Yeah.
To help me. Because I'm planning for that. I'm planning for that shit now.
Yeah.
Because you need to.
I
want to be able to like. Unfortunately, I mean, this is now we're really getting off topic. Like, I feel like sometimes you have to be like rich to die well. And as far as I know, I'm not going to be at least super. I mean, unless something changes, I'm not going to be rich, right? Yeah. But if you plan now, at least I'll have like things in place. So
yeah. That's
if
smart.
I get lucky to live old enough that I need help, then I'll have stuff in place. People need to do that, man.
That's so smart. I mean, it's not really off topic because it's stuff that you see all the time. You know, I mean,
a hospice nurse.
Yeah. Do you go into nursing homes as well, or just people's homes?
I go into nursing homes as well. Yeah. So if anyone's interested in like what hospice nurses actually do, so I think there's a few different types. You can be a hospice nurse that works in a facility, like a hospice facility. There's definitely places that have like inpatient hospice homes, inpatient hospice. I have never done that, and at least in Los Angeles, I don't think we actually have inpatient hospice homes. We usually people will go into nursing homes, and then we go into the nursing home.
Okay.
And just so everyone knows, no one really gets 24-hour nursing care with hospice. So it's like either the family's taking care of the person in their home, or they go to a skilled nursing facility where they're cared for, and then the nurse comes in a couple times a week.
Yeah.
That's really it.
Yeah.
So if you're a case manager, you get a caseload of patients. You shouldn't really have more than 15 patients at a time, which that doesn't happen. They'll have a lot of patients at a time, but really you shouldn't have more than 15. And you take the week and basically figure out who needs to be seen. And then of course you have calls that, because things happen, right? So you might have your schedule, but then someone calls because they're having a pain crisis. So you have to switch your schedule and go see patients. And you basically see them until they die.
Interesting.
And then you get new patients. Like one by one, people will die, then you get new patients, and you manage their care and manage their symptoms, and it's amazing. I mean, I love it.
Sometimes I think I'm like, maybe I should venture that way.
Oh, girl, you would love it. I mean, I don't know how, especially coming from the ICU, I honestly think people from the ICU, any nurse, I think, would like it to an extent. Okay, this sounds awful. It's not easier, but it's easy. It's like less stressful in a way. It really is. It has its own stress, but like you have tons of autonomy, especially if you're going in people's homes. Tons of autonomy when you start, when you end, and it's just and you know a lot because you've been in the ICU for a long time, so you kind of like know what it would be like if they were in the hospital, and then you see what it's like when they're in the home and like how you can help them in the home. It's really great.
I feel like the stressors would be different because the stressors in the ICU is like the patient may be a full code, but they're not looking too hot, so we're trying to keep them alive. Versus hospice, we know they want to die a comfortable death. At least that's the goal.
Yep.
So stressors would maybe be more with families.
Yeah, with families and time. Time can feel like a stressor because you're like, oh my gosh, I have like 3 more patients to see, but this patient's like not doing well and we can't get their pain controlled, so I'm here forever, blah, 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 whatever. So like, at least that's for me. That's where it's like hard for me to be a nurse sometimes, is like the time.
Yeah.
Me knowing like, I don't have enough time. I gotta fucking hurry up. But then you can't hurry up and care. You have to like care.
Yeah,
and
that's
not
so
hurry up.
fair.
It's like too hard to like, in the ICU, I always felt like I had to like care, but hurry up, but care. And you're like, I don't know how to do that. I need to like take time.
Yeah.
And I don't always have it.
No, that's fair. That's a good point, actually. Because I mean, yeah, the times that I am caring for people is when someone's like on my back, like, hey, you have an admit, or you need to transfer someone out, or you need to, I'm like, shut up. I'm trying to deal with this patient.
I know.
Leave me alone.
I know. But get out of that. But you can't.
I know. But
I know.
Can't.
But in hospice, you kind of can. You can kind of like make things work. But yeah, it's just, it's a lot of like, managing symptoms. You have to be really good at like reading the room, talking to people, helping them understand like, what do you mean you're not going to treat this or treat that? Like you're just going to let them die, right? Like, and it's like, no, it's not about that. It's like, you have to fully understand. They don't fully understand what it means to like, if someone stops eating, that's a normal part of death and dying. Like that's the body helping them die. They aren't hungry. They don't want to eat. So this idea of like, what do you mean you're not going to let them go to the hospital and get a G tube so we can feed them? Like, and of course they have every right to do that if they want. They can. But it's like, how do you?
You're just prolonging the inevitable.
You teach them to understand that like you can do that. It doesn't matter because the body's not going to absorb the nutrition anyway. But the period. Like if someone's dying, it doesn't matter if you have a G tube. It's not going to keep them alive. It's going to complicate their death. It's going to complicate their death. They're not going to absorb the nutrients. They're not going to tolerate it. They're usually going to aspirate it.
I was about to say.
Causing aspiration pneumonia. I mean, I've seen it it's like 10 out of 10. Like 10 out of 10 times, that's what's going to happen. So you have to learn how to say that in a compassionate way so you're not saying it like that, right? But
what would you say?
Okay, so I would say you can totally do, if that's what you guys want, you can do that. There's nothing stopping you. So I just want you to know if that's what you want to do, you can. You'd have to come off hospice to go to the hospital to get the procedure done. Then when you get the procedure done and everything goes okay, you can come back on hospice. So if you want to do that, you can. I want you to know that I have like no agenda here to like stop you, right? But just from my experience, I've been a nurse for 16 years. From my experience, it's not going to change the outcome. unfortunately, your loved one's not dying because they're not eating. They are not eating because they're dying. And when a person's body is dying, it knows, and it starts shutting down hunger and thirst mechanisms, making you purposely not hungry because it knows it's dying. Mm-hmm. So you can get the feeding tube and you can put all the nutrition in your person, but your person's body is not going to absorb it. They're not going to tolerate it. And if anything, it's going to make things worse. And that's what I've seen time and time again. Literally anyone who tries to do this, that is what happens. So I want you to know that I want you to do what you want to do, but I want to make sure you have all the education you have. Because from my experience, all it's going to do is cause more suffering, more pain, because it's still a procedure and your loved one's body is weak. So it's hard. It's hard to transfer them. It's hard to get them in the hospital. It's hard to do the procedure. It's hard to have the anesthesia and then to come back, all to have it not do anything. Yeah. Except for possibly cause more harm, because they're not going to tolerate it. They're going to get fluid overloaded. They'll probably aspirate. So I feel like it's my duty as your nurse to make sure I explain like all the aspects that are very rarely explained to someone.
That's good.
Thank you.
Because I feel like once they hear that, because you're right, I think a lot of people think, unfortunately, they don't trust medical professionals because of X, Y, or Z. Mm-hmm. And when they think you have an agenda, then it's like, oh yeah, well, why would you do that? But that explains everything perfectly. And it's true. Yeah.
And a lot of times, and sometimes if they haven't known me for a while and they're still like, I don't care, I'm going to do it anyway. And I get it. And it's like, that's okay. That's why I want them to know, like, hey, you can do what you want. And then usually I say, ultimately, I feel like your goal is to make sure your loved one doesn't suffer. And then they say yes. And then I say, that is my goal too. Yeah. And my goal is to make sure your loved one doesn't suffer. Hence why I really feel strongly enough about this decision to tell you all of it. Yeah. Because I've seen the other side. I was an ICU nurse forever. We did everything. We did G-tubes and trachs and, multiple machines to keep someone alive. Yeah. All to have them die anyway.
Yeah. And 8 times out of 10, those MEMA and PPAWs that we get are there for aspiration pneumonia. Yeah. Time and time again they are. And sometimes they die a sad death that they didn't need to die like that. So that's good. That's good education.
I think it's this idea of like death denial. Like I know we all say we all know we're going to die, but I think most people, and I get it, it's like a defense mechanism. It's a survival mechanism. Yeah. Most people don't really understand that like we really are going to die. Yeah. We really are, really. And like even when I see like 90-year-olds and they're like, well, you're just going to let them die. And I always say like, listen, everyone has an end of life journey. Everyone. And if you're 90, I don't care how healthy you are, you're there. Yeah. You're at your end of life journey. Yeah. Whether it's 5 years, 10 years if you're the very rare few that live to 100. But like, so we need to start thinking, okay, like they're 90. Yeah. Doesn't matter what you do. The body cannot live forever. Yeah. Period. So it's like, how do you want to live out the rest of your life? Do you want to spend it in and out of the hospital, or do you not? And people just don't get that, and we don't talk about it enough, right? So like they think the hospital is a good idea for MEMA. It's like a hospital is a very, very bad place for an elderly person with a lot of comorbidities. Yeah. I mean,
infection risk.
Yeah. Through the roof, fall risk, delirium.
All of it. Yeah. I mean, you're right. It's not the best place usually for your person. I mean, that's what happens too with all of our, like all the patients we used to take care of as well when we were techs in their homes. That's how we would see it. They would be going to the hospital multiple times a month for strokes, falls, etc. And then eventually someone like from palliative comes to talk to them, and then they're like, "Oh, what's the difference between?" I always say it wrong too. People get on my ass. I used to say palliative. Palliative, I think is right.
Palliative, yeah, you said it right. Palliative
versus hospice.
So it can be a long-winded answer, but I'll try not to do that. Sure. Like they are definitely 2 different things. Hospice and palliative care are not the same. And people always think, well, they're kind of the same. No, not really. I want to like separate them. Okay. So palliative care is a symptom management program. Now, depending on the hospital and the facility, some Some places will have there be restrictions, like you have to have a terminal diagnosis of less than a year to live. Less than a year to live, key note there. Some don't. Some it's like it's either chronic illnesses or life-limiting illnesses and possibly terminal illnesses. But the point of palliative care is to treat the person as a whole and manage their symptoms from that disease or the symptoms from the treatment of that disease, right? So if you have a lot of symptoms because you're on chemo and radiation, you feel sick and you have nausea, palliative care really helps you with a lot of symptoms. So usually people with some kind of life-limiting illness, they have like a roller coaster life, right? It's like good and bad and like all over the place. Palliative care is meant to try to like straighten out your path a little. So you can have like a go-to person to really help you stay out of the ER, have medications to help with the symptoms so you don't have to go to the ER to get your symptoms managed. So if you can get onto palliative care or someone talks to you in the hospital about like, are you interested in palliative care? The answer should always be yes. Yes. There's like no downside to it. It's like, yeah, an extra doctor who's usually super compassionate and is going to look at me as a whole person and treat me with respect and help my life. Done. Sign me up.
Yeah.
So always do it.
Okay.
Always do it.
Because I think a lot of people get scared about the death thing once again, and they're like, nope.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hospice is federally funded. So keep that in mind. So all hospices in America should operate the same. Now, not that they do, but they should.
I didn't know that.
And some hospices who are not federally funded, like some actually work on like raising money and so they can kind of do what they want and not be beholden to the government, right? But most hospice companies work with Medicare. So even if you're not on Medicare will still reimburse your insurance and things like that. So it should be a free program that Medicare pays for, the government will pay for. And in order to get onto hospice, you do have to have a terminal illness with less than 6 months to live. So you do have to have that marker. Now, will you live longer than 6 months? Maybe. Will you live less than 6 months? Maybe. So it just depends. But you have to have some kind of terminal illness with less than 6 months to live. And you do, quote unquote, lose things. So with palliative, you don't lose anything. With hospice, you do, because the government's basically saying, hey, you're signing on for hospice, we're going to give you all of this over here. We're going to give you like equipment in your home, any medications you want, supplies, a team of people, a nurse that's going to come see you, a 24-hour number so a nurse can come to your home. We're going to supply all of this for free, a doctor, a social worker, yada, yada. But because we're giving this all to you, you can't have this too. And this is treatment for your disease, right? So chemo, radiation, PET scans, seeing your oncologist still, going into the hospital. You can't have that. And that's I think why it's gotten such a bad rap. People are like, what? So you're just going to kill us, right? It's like you're going on to hospice because we want you to die or something. And that's not what's going on. It's like, no, you are dying. Right. You are dying from this disease. Unfortunately, it sucks.
Yeah.
How do you want to die from it? Yeah. Do you want, because it's not like, oh, if you didn't choose hospice, you wouldn't die. No, you're going to die. Yeah. That's the point. That's the part where I think we really lack on with people, like as healthcare workers. We don't say that soon enough and as bluntly. And I feel like we do people a disservice by not saying it like that because people need to know their fate. Yeah. A lot of times we do, I know, right? I get so fired up because it's like we do things like, well, you never know. But we do. Kind of. Yeah. I mean, I get what they mean. You're not God. That's what people always say. Well, I'm not God. It's like, I know, but we have done this time and time again. We've seen this person time and time again with this disease. We know how it progresses. Yeah. We know. Yeah. And if this is likely their last 6 months, which P.S., usually it's their last 2 months or 3 months because people don't tell them soon enough. Yeah. We owe it to them to say, no matter what you do, you're likely going to die in 6 months or less. Yeah. How do you want your life to look? And if people really heard it like that, like no matter what you do, you're probably going to die in 6 months. I think more people would say, fuck this. Absolutely. I'm not going to keep doing this shit that's making me feel sick and keeping me in the hospital and blood work every other day, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to go enjoy my life, get pumped full of steroids, and feel fucking good. Yeah. Yeah. People come onto hospice and feel better because we can be a little more lax with what we do to treat them. High dose steroids, pump them full of steroids. People feel fucking good on steroids.
Yeah.
Give them morphine if they're in pain, and it's not going to knock them out. It's going to make them feel better. And I just think that is what I believe in. It's like we have such a death denial that it's like always like, well, we've tried this treatment, we've tried that treatment, but we could do this. And I get why the doctors are doing that. And I know that, like, I'm not an oncologist, so like maybe they have seen more people really get help. I don't know. But it's like, why are we throwing these last ditch things? Because all people are going to hear is, you can try one more thing, you know? And I just think we're doing them a disservice. It's like the hope, we can still have the hope is to live out the rest of your life, to live. Hospice is not about dying. It is about living. And that sounds so cheesy, but I truly mean that.
No, you're giving me chills over here. I'm like, preach, girl.
I know, thank you. Yeah, it's like I can really get on a high horse about it.
But as you should, I get it, because I know exactly what you're talking about. And this is not to throw like anyone specific under the bus, but when you're in the ICU and someone's in like multi-organ failure, and let's just say nephrology comes in and is like, oh, kidneys look great on my end, and they leave. Why did you say that when everything else is failing?
Yep.
Why did you say that? Or whoever, nephrology, you know, cardiology,
pulmonology,
whoever, anyone. But they all have done that. And I'm like, come on. Why did you just give them false hope? Because they're still going to die because of whatever else is wrong with them.
Yeah, and P.S., their toes are black, their fingers are black, the tip of the nose is black.
And you're like, looks great on my end. The numbers improved from yesterday. Why would you say that?
I know.
I understand it's like a checkbox in a sense, but it's like, there's better ways to say it. So the numbers are not in red right now, but that doesn't mean all this other stuff is going on. That's why I'm like, just give them that at least to know we're not out of the clear. Because family will think they're good.
100%.
And I'm like, bro, you're not. And that's really, and I can't tell you that. That's their job.
Yep.
Right? Depending.
Well, I don't know. That's where I've learned in the ICU, I started making it my job.
I know.
I started being like, oh, wait. No one's going to say anything. I guess I will.
Yeah.
And I don't say like, oh, you're going to die, but I'll say we need to have a family meeting to talk about what's really going on.
Yeah. Or really
wink,
pressure the intensivist or somebody like, hey, someone's got to talk to them for real.
Yeah. Right. I know, because everyone passes the buck. And I don't think anyone's purposely trying to do that. I think we all just have little blinders on. This is my little box. This is my little world. Mm-hmm. I'm sure someone's talking to them about the fact that they're at the end of life, right? No. No one is. One of my patients in my book that I talk about, I can't remember the name I gave him in my book. I know his real name, which I can't tell you guys, but I can't remember what his fake name is in the book. But it's about an ICU patient who like changed my life basically, because I started being like, this isn't right, and started speaking up for people in the ICU. And this person came in with pancreatic cancer, terminal period, right? But he was lucky enough to be someone who could get the Whipple procedure, which means usually you're going to live for at least 5 to 7 years, sometimes longer, right? It's the best case scenario for pancreatic cancer if you can get the Whipple procedure. So it was we saw it all the time in this particular surgical ICU. But he had a bunch of complications. He was young, tons of complications, bilateral PEs, coded multiple times, tons of infections, whatever. Ended up being in the ICU on multiple machines for like 6 months. And they were still talking nephrology. Numbers looking good today.
Stop.
You know, things like that. And I'd be like, and he was someone with literally all fingers black. Like, right, he'd have to get amputated, feet gone, right? Just black.
Oh my
black
God.
feet. Not full, but like, you know, from toes.
Right.
Yeah, from toes
For
down.
those of you that don't know, that's because your blood is not circulating all the way down to your limbs anymore.
And that's happening because we have you on a bunch of vasopressors to keep your blood pressure up. Vasopressors.
Yes.
To keep your blood pressure up. So, and no one was talking about the fact he still had pancreatic cancer, folks.
It's not gone.
It's not gone.
Yeah.
He still was supposed to be getting a bunch of chemo and a bunch of different things that he wasn't able to get. It's been 6 months. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And I could cry now thinking about him. I loved this man because he wasn't always sick. was up and walking and talking multiple times, and I think that's what fucked with his husband so much, is that like he would recover enough sometimes to be like alert and oriented again. He was straight, but like off the vent, walking around, and boom, something else would happen, infection, down again. Do you know what I mean? So it was like, and then by the end of it, he's literally rotting away in bed. Yeah. And no one's saying anything.
He didn't deserve that.
Yeah. And that was the first time I spoke up, right? And I spoke up, and that day, it was like the elephant in the room. Everyone was like, I was so surprised that everyone was like, yes, 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 yes. Meeting that day, Lindsay, he died by the end of my shift.
Oh! Chills.
He died by the end of my shift. And even though I was like, that was the right thing, I was like not ready for that. Because then I get in, and it was the first time I had done that. And I love this dude. Yeah. So I get in my car, I'm like sobbing because I'm like, I killed him. No. And like, I know I didn't kill him, and I know, but it just felt like, oh my God, I didn't realize that like all I had to do was say one little thing. Then we had the meeting. Everyone was honest. His husband was like, oh shit, no, take him off. He doesn't want to live like this. Yeah. And then he died by the end of my shift. And I know so that was like so good. And it started my journey into like, okay, this is what I am here to do, I guess, because like it wasn't happening. Yeah. And then I moved into hospice, blah, 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 all because of this guy. And yeah, but it was still, I'm not sure what my point is. My point is like, we can be advocates, right? And it can still hurt and feel scary and kind of feel bad, especially the first time you do it. Oh, yeah. But it was life-changing.
Yeah. And that's literally part of our job, is advocating for them.
Even if it means death.
Maybe possibly the biggest piece of our job, advocating for them. Yep. And yeah, even if it means death. But you gave him a peaceful death. Yeah. That's really sweet. I could actually cry about it if I think too long. That's really sweet. I know. And I bet his husband thanks you for that. Yeah. You know?
Oh my God, if I ever saw his husband again, I would die.
Dude, you're funny. So fucked up. Well, let's wrap it up. Yeah. What is something that have we touched on everything you want to touch on? Number one.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I got on a little bit of a soapbox there.
I loved
it. Yeah, we did. Okay. Yeah. My book, I have a book. Yes. Nothing to Fear. A journal, Nothing to Fear. Yes. And that's it. I'm excited to be here with you and have your listeners listen.
I am too. Yeah. What's one thing you would tell someone if they're thinking about leaving nursing completely? Should they check, and they were, let's say, a nice nurse?
Oh, I would say check out other places. Like, don't be afraid to move around, even as scary as it is. I was 100% checked out of nursing. I hated it. Totally burnt out. I hated nursing. I would have told you a million times over, I was never meant to be a nurse. This is not for me. And then I did traveling nursing just so I could make money. Like, I wasn't even like, I wasn't even like, my heart was in it. I was just like, whatever, if I'm going to have to do this, I'm going to make some money in it. And then because of that, I got like a little more confident. Then I became an agency nurse. The agency nurse helped me like bounce around a little bit. So I did like OR stuff, PACU stuff, pre-op stuff. And that gave me a little more confidence in like, oh, I can kind of try different things, right? Mm-hmm. So my advice would be, as scary as it seems, and even though you feel like, no, nothing's going to change how I feel, try to move around and do different things. And I'm telling you, hospice is like where it's at, for real. And full-time hospice nursing is still really hard and time-consuming. But if you've been a nurse for a while and like know what you're doing, it's a great place to be. I wouldn't recommend it for new nurses because you have to have a lot of autonomy and you have to know what the fuck you're doing because you're by yourself in the field. Yeah. You can call people, but like generally speaking, you need to know your shit. And I think as a new nurse, I would have been like, what? Yeah. I gotta call who? What? Fair. What? So I don't know. It's where it's at. I think it's an amazing.
You're making me think. I'm like, is it?
I know. It's good. It's good. Okay. I love it.
Okay.
I love it.
Well, thank you so much. I feel like this was a fun episode,
Yeah.
a little different. And you guys, her book and journal links will be in the description. So go check that out along with her socials. Where
that's
can
right.
everyone find you?
I'm Hospice Nurse Julie online, and you can find me anywhere you get your social media.
I love that.
Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. YouTube's my favorite.
She's a YouTuber. You have to teach me.
Yeah, it's
I'm
great.
not good at
YouTube is my favorite, and I go live there every Thursday. So I have like a great community of people that show up every single week.
That's awesome.
I know, it's amazing.
I love that for
Yeah.
you. Awesome. Well, thank you again. That's all
Thanks
for
for
now.
having
Guys, if you are still listening, please don't forget to subscribe and follow the podcast. That really helps it get pushed out to other people. And keep sending in your new grad embarrassing stories and deathbed confessions, because I think I'm going to keep reading them. So.
That's good.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.